What the?
The sound master.
Oh.
Then just do something crazy.
Director, do we want to go around this way to film the school gardens?
I'm gonna have to film anyone.
Should we go around this way?
Let's film. They're not filming yet. We're gonna see what the school
We're not in it. I see you want a clear job. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
Hi, view.
Hi, View.
Matilda, is that good? When shall I stop?
Ask the director.
Now?
Yeah.
Yes. Stop.
Maybe that's a representation of school.
Say something.
Like I would say the community spirit is second to none here. I don't think you can get better in the city. I would say look for the highest point in Plymouth and you'll see Efford, because we are quite one of the highest points in the city. And it's just, we've got lots of green spaces here, haven't we, really? You know, for an area, you've got the Efford Marsh, you've got the field, you've got Lipson. There's lots of green spaces in Efford, and it's just nice. It's a bit chilly when it's a day like today. It's windy out there, but yeah, it's good.
That was all I can remember. Efford Passfield. It was all very much country stuff. And Efford itself was only a very small place.
Like I said, you had your imagination. You didn't have all the toys you got now or anything like that. You had to use imagination. And you could be anything in the woods. So you had it up by Efford Fort. Mm-hmm. And then we had it back down by Military Road. As it was, there was words said. I don't know what it's like. Most of the places I know have gone now. They've got houses built on. But yeah, you just use your imagination. You can be pirates, you can be whatever you like.
The pets that we had was a budgerigar, which my dad, this is a funny thing, my dad bought a new cage for it. And they got these little boxes that you put all the seeds in there for the birds to feed. So he decided in his wisdom that he was going outside, and because the sun was shining, and clean his new cage up. And he took the little box out, and the bird flew out and went up on the roof of the house. And I can remember my dad saying, "Come down, Peter, come down." And he flew off. So about half an hour, a young lad came down the house on his bike, and he said to my dad, "Mr. Perry," he said, your budgerigar's on the top of St. Paul's shirt." He said, "Well, he can stay there." So we had that, and we had a little goldfish, but we didn't really look after him. And one day we found him floating on the top, so we stuck him in the matchbox and buried him in the garden.
Oh wow.
And about 2 days later, we dug it up to see how he was getting on. So that's the pets. Yeah, we just had a budgerigar and a goldfish.
So when it's an egg, it normally needs leaves for just in case they hatch, and they need water, and they live in a tub when they're eggs, and then they hatch, and then they're little caterpillars, and then they grow, so they just eat leaves, and then when they're fully crystallized, they normally just go in the tub, and then when they're moths, they just fly around my room. I think they're just, I'm not sure. They match my energy, I guess.
What object did you bring to talk about today? I've brought a couple. One I brought is this one. It's my little frog. And it just reminds me of a time where a lot of us in our street has ponds. And so every once a year you'd see lots of little frogs, and sometimes if you're walking down the street you'd see frogs just hopping along the street to go to the next pond, and I just thought it was a funny little memory. Oh, lovely. There you go, now it's blue.
I can't do it.
Lights are on.
Not long enough.
Can you go and step in front of it, lovely?
What? I
And then go action.
Action and clap your hand.
Action!
Cool. And then
Perfect.
step back next to Beth. You gotta watch
Well
out and make sure
done,
they're all
well
doing
done.
their jobs. So moves.
When were you giving it? When were you giving it?
I'm going to show you some shark's teeth that you're talking about. So I bought these a few years ago, and they're not modern shark's teeth, they're prehistoric ones. So these are from over 2.5 million years ago. And I've been fascinated about sharks ever since I was maybe 4 or 5 years old, and other animals, but these have been my passion all my life. And I've managed to dive with them, swim them, see them. But one thing I've always wanted was, there's a shark called a great white shark, Carcharodon carcharias, which is a modern shark. And it's the biggest predatory shark we have on the planet. There used to be a bigger shark called Carcharodon megaloton. And this is half the tooth of one of those. So that's just one tooth compared to the size of these teeth. So this is the boyhood dream, to hold a tooth that's over 2.5 million years old. And I can imagine the sharks swimming through those prehistoric seas, finding food.
This is my kiwi and I got it from New Zealand. It makes a noise if you press its belly like this. Kiwis only live in New Zealand and they can't fly. They basically have no wings. Like, literally they have stubs, not wings.
Well, it's a shell. It's a shell that I found on a New Zealand beach while we still lived there. I believe it was North Island, West Coast, around Taranaki. But I don't know exactly which beach now. I've forgotten that bit because we collected huge amounts of shells. We've just chosen to take this one because it's the biggest I have ever found and seen.
What does it feel like? Very smooth. Surprisingly smooth for it being made out of soapstone. It's made out of limestone. So soapstone is a very brittle rock. As you can see here, it's got hieroglyphics engraved in it. Obviously not as old as the ancient Egyptian civilization itself, but still pretty impressive. This is in the form of a scarab beetle. It's a beetle from Egypt that rolls giant balls of dung to its nest, where it then lays its eggs in so that the juveniles can eat their way through it. If you ask me, even grosser than rabbits. They eat their own poo. And also, another bit of information is, in ancient Egyptian religion, there was a scarab beetle that was a god, and they worshipped it every day so that it would bring up the sun, roll the sun across the sky. They thought the sun was a giant ball of dung. Like, come on, people. Dung does not produce high amounts of light all day, every day.
Guys, get your cameras into focus. Ollie, you go there. Ollie, you there.
You're a great director.
Hang on, just voice check. Ready? Three, two, one, stop filming.
Action.
When were you given the photo?
I was given the photo when I was about 6 or 5.
Who gave it to you?
I think it was my dad because he has a lot of pictures of my brother. The good memories were like he used to because my sister was just a baby, so he used to come over my house. That's like what my mum told me, and then he used to spend time with my family. I think the photo is special to me because he passed away and he's my brother, so I just
have it so I know he's still there.
My first object I thought I would bring in, seeing as it's a school. This is a photo of me when I was at school with one of my teachers and some of my friends, who quite a few of them still live in Efford. But it was good times in school. We really had a good time at school.
Well, one of the great things of going to school is making friends. You know, to be able to go in and make friends of those that were at school with you, and those friendships became long-term friendships, because we also played football together for a football team. Efford actually had a football team. It was called Efford under 23s youth club teams, but we played all the other housing estates. They also had football teams, so we actually played the other estates as well. Like I say, one of the great things is having friends.
I've lots of good memories in school. I absolutely loved school. I wasn't always the brightest, but I had lots of friends, and we had lots and lots of games that we used to play. We didn't have lots of equipment, but we made up our own games, so school was a fun place to be.
What's inside the box?
Some jewellery.
Which one is your favourite?
My favourite is the one from Greece. It's my favourite because some important people to me gave it to me.
Who's that?
My brother and his friends.
This is a rock from when I went to the beach with my cousin. When were you given it? I found it on the floor at the beach. How old were you when you got it? I was 8. Do you have any special memories of it? Yeah, because we were just running around and we were like in the ocean, and we got out, we done some digging, and we found this. How long have you had your teddy? It's 3 years. Is it a boy or a girl? A boy. What is his name? Probably the same name as my granddad's, Paul. Okay. What does it remind you with your granddad? We used to, every Sunday we used to all have a roast because that was his favourite food, so that reminds me of him. So someone in my street liked to sew a lot, so we gave them like all of those, my granddad's clothes, and then she like cut it up and then sewed like lots and lots of teddies, and some of them said love dad because my mum and stuff got them, but some said love granddad because we had them, so she sewn that on.
The other one is just a picture of friends who, to this very day, are still my very best friends, and they were. Although my friend on this side grew up in Manifold Gardens, and so she was. I met her in secondary school, but the other 2 friends on the left are who I met when I was 7 at Lower Green, and we are still very good friends to this day. And so together with them, we've got lots of memories of everything I've been talking about, our little adventures, and kind of.
Do they still live in the area, or have moved on?
Funny enough, so Leah grew up in Manifold. She moved away and she came back. So she's back in that street, and I know my friend Louise does not. Her father still lives in the street that we grew up in. Kelly's parents still live in the house that they grew up in, and she's now living a street over from them.
Oh, okay.
So she's in the lower areas. But so we've all kind of stayed. We've gone and come back again.
No filming in all the cameras or fluffy mics. Director's orders.
What was the director's orders?
No filming at cameras or fluffy mics.
Oh, okay.
So it's a jewellery box, and it's from China, and it's red. My mum gave it to me, I think it might have been a few months ago, because it was given to her 35 years ago when her mum's friend brought it back from China.
What kind of stuff are in it?
So, that's still a bad thing. So, there's this bracelet, and it says my name on it, and it's got my favourite colours on it. there's a bracelet and it's all different shades of blue and it's made of sea glass. And there's a flower bracelet, lots of bracelets, and this is a sort of an archive in an archive. It's my mum's old necklace and she gave it to me. And this is a very annoying jewel that I got from the 2p machines in an arcade. And this is another bracelet which has my favourite animal sloths on it that my best friend got for me from the zoo. And the last thing, a pot of earrings. Yes.
Which one's your favourite?
My favourite one, that's difficult. It's probably soft bracelet. Yes.
Which one has the most memories?
Probably the soft one again. Okay, so I remember, so I've got another friend whose name's Archie, and I was supposed to be going to his birthday party, but I'd had chicken pox, and it was at the zoo, and then Lily Beth, so she dropped it off at my house because I was sick, so I couldn't come to the party, and she bought me this sloth bracelet with her own money. So I moved house recently, and I remember she gave it to me when we were in our old house, and I'd done some sort of chore for the first time, and she said, Matilda, if you do this chore, then I will give you this necklace. And because I was quite young, I was quite into necklaces, so I went, ooh, okay. So I did it, and she gave me the necklace. It feels like a glass shard a little bit.
What is it made of?
It's made of wood. What does it represent on like the top of it? It represents all the countries in the world.
I think it came from Nepal in India.
And what does it feel like?
It's like smooth, and I think it's made of wood. Not really. It's supposed to be like a Buddha, I think.
What's a Buddha?
Matilda, did you have a question?
Yeah, what's a Buddha?
What's a Buddha?
I think it's a religion.
This is an interesting coin that was given to every school child in 1953 at the Queen's coronation. So we all had these in a little case as a memory of the coronation, and I've kept it with me ever since.
This is my bunny that I got, that my uncle and Auntie Fun got me for being a bridesmaid on the wedding and helping a little that little child walking down the aisle because she was really hyper and everything.
And what's its name and why did you name it that?
I named it Rainbow because she is Rainbow. I'll call it this Rainbow. Do you have any memories with it?
I'm not really sure. I think I used to bring it everywhere though.
This is my mum's Pikachu, which she let me borrow from London. Another thing about Pikachu is that he's got really cool abilities like Thunderbolt, but he's got this really special ability which he keeps as a secret. Whenever he gets mad, he really shoots and it combines energy and makes his eyes go yellow and glowing up with lightning, then takes out any Pokemon in one hit.
So this is my teddy Flo, and well, I call her a mushroom frog because her body's kind of a frog and then she's got the head of a mushroom, so I don't really know what she is, but she looks like a mushroom frog.
My third object is Tinkerbell. I am Tinkerbell mad, really love Tinkerbell, but this one also reminds me of a holiday that I went on. I was very lucky to go over to Florida and see Tinkerbell at Disney. So this is really a special memory for me and my family when I went to Disney to see Tinkerbell.
This is my Lego figure keyring from Legoland, and I got it at the gift shop after we went on all the rides.
Far down, I don't think we'll go down there today.
Camera,
Where that yellow thing is and down.
Well,
I want it nice and dark. It's not an actual elephant.
Ollie, you walked in the way of the camera! Get out of the
That's a better one. better contrast.
Let's just get one. I want this. Oh my god, that. It's so. Oh.
Lydia Dietz was the director instead of me. Your camera is not working.
Whose?
camera.
Might run out of battery. Oh, dodge the laser, man.
Wait, what? How?
I'm trying to think, where Lipson School is now, we used to have the fun fair. As it was back then, it's Whitelegs. Was it Whitelegs?
Yeah,
Yes, that was it. They used to be huge. Yeah, annual, yearly thing, I think yearly thing, yeah, going down there. Yeah. But you could walk down. There was none of the things you got nowadays where you know where children got to be every 5 minutes.
I loved the childhood and things like that, you know.
Yeah.
It was lovely. Because you had 2 nannies, I had 2 nannies, and a governess. I didn't like the governess.
Why not?
Very bossy. Dare not talk wrong. We don't talk very potty all the time, you know what I mean? Oh yeah. You had to be very posh. You say hello. Hello. I even stayed down with Churchill because during the war and Churchill and Roosevelt they came to Stockholm for the big meeting to go abroad.
Wow.
So they started a big war, yeah. And then he was coming down the Diamond passage one day, and as the Garland, I didn't know who they was. My mother used to say, never talk to a strange man. So I never did. And he came down, and he said, hello. I don't know you. And he said, do you know who I am? I said, no, I don't. I was only about 5 or 7, you know, you're a child, really. He said, I'm Churchill, you're my... I said, who are you? Didn't mean a thing to me.
Did you have a big party after the war was over?
But how did you celebrate when the war ended?
With bonfires.
Nice.
Everybody was dancing in the street.
Dancing in the street.
It was wonderful.
Do you remember any community celebrations?
Yes, that's a good question because during the time of the Queen's coronation, all over Plymouth, there's something they don't seem to do now. We had street celebrations. All the people in the streets, the neighbours and everything, would make the food and we have through the street, it would be shut off and we have these long tables and we would be dressed up with Union Jack hats and flags and all that. That we celebrated the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II. So that is something that used to happen in the school.
My mother stayed at our at Saltram. When they opened the entertainment bridge.
Yeah?
The entertainment bridge. She had opened the bridge and she wanted to stop at Saltram. Anyway, she went. She came in, she had about 5 helping her, right? And I'm going to be rude now. She would not even wipe her bum. No.
Did you hear that?
It was very luring for her to wipe her bum.
She didn't wipe her bum.
Anybody else was better to wipe her bum. She would have it.
Sorry,
that's true.
what?
That's true. Anyway, she would not wipe her bum.
Wow. The Queen Mother wouldn't wipe her own bum?
There's put a gas mask on anyway. After she had about 15, she had champagne, 15 bottles of champagne.
Really?
And the Beth. Not cheap stuff, but they're littles. No, you had to use, I bet that champagne was £100 a bottle.
Wow.
That's a very, very best.
Do you remember
any community celebrations?
Oh yes, one that sticks in my mind was the Silver Jubilee, the Queen's Silver Jubilee. So Efford got a community together, which was absolutely amazing, and every street decided that they would put a procession together, would put a float together. So that meant everybody had one lorry in their street, and we would decorate it with something, and then every child or adults, if they wanted to, but in my street, we decorated a lorry, and every child in the street was dressed up as a different nursery rhyme. And we went on the float, and we joined all the other floats from like Channel Park, Ward Place, Thames Gardens, and we drove around all the streets in Efford, all the lorries, and all the children were dressed up. And then at the end of it, we would go back to our own streets, and each street had a huge party for the Silver Jubilee. And I can remember I lived in the cul-de-sac, Medway Place, and we had a big barbecue, and everybody put food in the middle of on the tables in the middle of the cul-de-sac, and the parents were there chatting all day. There was music playing, and I can remember all his children playing all day, and I'm sure it was the same in all the other streets. It was just an amazing time.
I can remember bonfire night. We'd have two sheds at the back, and Dad bred birds, and then it was his shed, and he had Catherine wheels. And you used to be able to put, they weren't as dangerous or now, they used to put their firework display in there. And you used to have in the back garden back then, and you used to have a little bonfire, not what, everything today. But the Catherine wheels, I always remember doing that, because after a while, if it wasn't secured, it would go like that, and then go woof, and go up in the air, yeah. Yeah, seriously.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That sounds like so much fun watching
It was,
that.
but yeah, I wouldn't like to do it nowadays.
Very dangerous.
I think the best one, Christmas, you weren't taken to see Father Christmas. Just wasn't, we believed in it, but that was the kind of luxury. So we always had growing up, it's always the same every year. So we'd get a stocking at the end of the bed. In our stocking, we would have one toy. Now we're on about like a plastic doll, apple, orange, a little pack of sweets, and that'd be it. You have to come downstairs, go and have breakfast, and then we left a line up outside the front room. We're allowed to go in the front room for Christmas. And then we go in the front room, and there'll be little, and we're on about little, they'll be lucky they spent £5 each on us. Our little pile will be there. Guarantee there'll be a jumper there or a dress as part of our Christmas stuff.
Not street parties as such, but I remember New Year's would be a time when everybody would come outside on New Year, and the whole street would be there singing Old Lang Syne together, and it was very much a really strong community feel, and you knew everybody like in your neighbourhood, not just your next door neighbours, all the way down the end of the street you knew everybody, which was really nice.
What? It's just a little thing.
We're back at school, and that woman right there is sus.
What will I do with Imperial?
So is he. And him.
So you don't know what Imperial does? Imperial makes you control of the cops of the person it hits.
No, I've never seen it.
We hired it.
I'm the director.
Yeah, we hired it.
Yeah, I'm not really good.
Because we needed a hall space, and it was big.
When the estates was first built, they had a community hall where people that lived on the estate could go to the community hall and get to know everybody. In those days, everybody knew their neighbours. There wasn't no locked doors and alarm system. Everybody, they knew that after the war, because these people had all gone through the same experience, that everybody had a feeling of helping each other out, and that was a wonderful thing. That just imagine if I was under the weather and my mother was under the weather, then one of the neighbours would come in and be the one looking after me. There was that sort of interaction of people looking out for each other as well. I really think that's a thing that happened.
Yes, growing up in Efford was absolutely amazing. There was a great community spirit. We used to go to the Efford Youth Centre as children. Our night was on a Wednesday night for my age group. And we always used to have a little tuck shop. But if there was a child there that didn't have enough money to go in, we would all put our money together to give that child enough money to come in. There was great community spirit. Everybody would help everybody. most people knew each other. We all went to the same schools, or we knew each other from out playing in the streets, but the community spirit was really, really good. There was always someone there for you to play with, someone for you to help, or someone to help you.
You seem to talk quite wistfully about the community that you're part of and the fact that you knew everybody. Can you think of anything today that we can do as individuals to rebuild those communities and that connectivity of the people in your street, not just your next door neighbours?
Good question. I mean, from my perspective, I work in the community, so I'm quite I do try to make sure I know people, and although I've lived where I've lived now for 2 years, so I've made sure from when I moved in, I sent a Christmas card to everybody with just their house number, with all my the names of all of us and the animals, so everyone knew who I was. So I might not know who they are, but then they know who has moved into the street and their names. And I think it's trying to find those little ways of making those connections and stopping and having a conversation and not feeling like it's not the done thing, because it should be the done thing to stop, say hello, and to your neighbours. And from my professional perspective, I work in the community by trying to bring people together. So I run groups where I want people to come meet each other, find out how we can help each other and do things for each other, and then spread that word further.
Community spirit, it's amazing. It's probably the best in the city, I've got to say. I mean, when my children started Highfield School back then, as it was called, there was a serious accident, and the community just rallied around to get the children into school, etc. And I just thought, wow, this is an amazing area. And I just got more and more involved in the community then, because I believed in, the people that lived in this area. They're very genuine, and they will help anybody.
Perfect. And then how do you zoom in and out? You actually don't have to zoom in and zoom out if you don't want. But...
You're going to move, aren't you, in a minute? It's all good.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Super. You've got it, girl. Okay, and you can move around as much as you want.
No, I think
so.
Just don't get away in the way of the thing.
Don't get in the way of that. And you might want to film people behind the scenes. You might want to focus on her and the object. It's absolutely up to you, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Are you ready to be interviewed? Amazing. Right, well, the good thing is, you're winding up
what's going on in the room. You press record one time, now you can hear differently, yeah?
I always think that looks like a squirrel tail.
It
looks like a squirrel tail.
So, is that, Ollie, does it sound okay?
You're facing square.
Reuben, look, and the cameraman.
I'm the cameraman. You're not supposed to be doing that.
Well, I am.
Your job is to make sure that always
Film me doing that. Hang on.
Who's the director this time?
Archie.
Archie.
Archie, you're literally in the way.
And I'm the camera lady.
You're the camera lady. You're going to be the brilliant camera lady.
Now move just back. Should we drop it down a tiny bit? There's a lot of green above our head. The problem we've got is the green screen's all over and
I'm the camera person. Boy, it's heavy.
I would tell people I'm an Efford boy. Do you know what rocks are when you get on the seaside? Well, a rock, you break it off and it's got the name of the place in the middle of it. If you cut my elbows, I'm an Efford boy. I'm Efford through and through. I love Efford.